Taylor Swift endorsing last night after the debates between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. And I was wrong about this. I was dead wrong about this. I don't have any spin out of it. I'm just glad I didn't bet a naked lap on it this time because I'm sick of doing those. I did one 2 years ago when I thought that Amanda Atkins could keep it to within 10 points of Sharice Davids in the 3rd District of Kansas, and obviously that didn't go well for me. So Mark had the horrors of having to film that around corporate woods. He still reminds me of it almost 2 years later. Thankfully, we had a balmy November morning, so it was okay from that perspective. But I didn't think she'd do it, and I thought she was too good of a business person to do it, but clearly I was wrong. Taylor Swift putting up on our Instagram last night, and I love how this is framed, right? As if this wasn't already pre-planned. Like many of you, I watched the debate tonight. If you haven't already, now is a great time to do your research on the issues at hand and the stances these candidates take on the topics that matter to you the most. As a voter, I make sure to watch and read everything I can about their proposed policies and plans for the country. Oh, that's just hysterical. You know? Then she writes here, recently, I was made aware of the AI of me falsely endorsing Donald Trump's presidential run. That was posted to his site. It was posted on Truth Social, but anyway. It conjured up my fears around AI and the dangers of spreading misinformation. It brought me to the conclusion that I need to be very transparent about my actual plans for the election as a voter. Now, whether or not that's true or not, I don't know. But what I did say is that when Trump did the AI thing of Taylor, I said at the time that he was baiting her into actually getting involved on behalf of Kamala Harris. When he put up those AI images, and everyone knew it was fake, but still, he put up these AI images of like Swifties for Trump and Taylor and Trump and the whole thing. And I'm like, that was dumb of him to do because if she was considering staying on the fence, this gave her reason to jump off it. Now, maybe she would have done this anyway. We'll never know. But the fact that she notes that in the Instagram post is telling to me. And another one of those, like, why step on the rake? She then goes on to write, I'll be casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in the 2024 presidential election. I'm voting for Kamala Harris because she fights for the rights and causes I believe we need in a warrior to champion them. I think she is a steady hand, a gifted leader, and I believe we can accomplish so much more in this country if we are led by calm and not chaos. I was so heartened and impressed by her selection of running mate Tim Walz. Oh, that's the part. I just can't keep a straight face. Mm-hmm. Tim Walz, impressed by this guy. Oh, my gosh. That's goodness gracious. Who has been standing up for LGBT plus, I can't keep all the letters in track anymore. LGBTQIA exclamation point division sign plus rights, IVF, and a woman's right to her own body for decades. I've done my research. I made my choice. Your research is all yours, blah, blah, blah. The choice is yours to make with love and hope. Taylor Swift. And then she signs off childless cat lady. Okay. So it's interesting how she's like, I've read through the policies. I've read through their plans. And what do I care about? LGBTQ. That's the only policy of substance that she notes. Now, I suppose when you're a billionaire, you're not impacted by those everyday issues that like normal people are feeling and normal people care about, like the things that have made people poorer over the last 40 years.
You still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted.
Most people are in the place where those are the things that matter to them. But if you're a billionaire, you don't have to care about the kitchen table issues. They're irrelevant to you. So you get to get on the high horse, preach, and then say the one issue, the one policy she brings up. It's not, by the way, the foreign policy where we have women and children who are still stuck in Afghanistan. It's not how the horrible foreign policy has resulted in still Israeli women being hostages at the hands of Hamas. It's not about the women who have been brutalized making a trip up through Mexico across our southern border at the hands of the Mexican drug cartels who are getting very rich doing it thanks to our porous border policies. It's not the women. Once again, I'm tying this all back to women because that's who Taylor Swift is appealing to here. It's not the women like Lake and Riley who have lost their lives at the hands of illegal immigrants here in the United States. It's just this made-up, feel-good thing of LGBT. That's it. That's the whole thing. It shows somebody who, to me, is incredibly out of touch with the moment. And maybe that happens when you become a billionaire. It's entirely possible. So, yes, I was wrong about this. I've gotten texts all morning and tweets and the whole thing when this went down last night. I was wrong. Dead wrong. And maybe also when you get to billionaire status, you don't really care about whether or not you can get hurt by any of this politically or business-wise. You just don't care. Maybe I misread that part of it. So I was wrong. But am I also fearful of this endorsement? I'm not as fearful as I thought I might be.
Well, you should be if it's a student council election. I mean, Swifties are vast in number, but voting age, and then when you take the voting age, maybe 50% are conservative anyway.
Yeah.
So, not that she cares about how many people she loses, but she'll lose some people.
She will.
As much as she might gain. It's kind of a zero-sum thing. So it's all about her.
Yes. And that's the conclusion I come to. And it's not something that is going to, I guess Travis couldn't talk her out of this one. Although, who knows? I don't know. Travis is out here doing Bud Light commercials and got his 2 blue Band-Aids on his arm and the whole thing. So, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I'm not going to take it out on him, but I'll still cheer him on this Sunday against the Bengals. But I still don't get it.
Look, many a marriage out there goes this way.
Well, you're right. I think less so now.
This is everyday life for a lot of folks.
Yes, I think less so now than ever. But you're right. I mean, I know plenty of people married in different directions on the politics. Stephen in Johnson County, go ahead. You're on KCMO.
Yes, I was just wondering to myself if I think if would her endorsement really make a difference? And I also have a question I want to ask you when you answer this one also.
What's the question?
Will her endorsement make a difference, you think, for Donald Trump or against him? Or
well, when it comes to that role, it's a razor-thin election, right, in the states that matter. So if she moves a couple thousand people in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Arizona, Georgia, I mean, yeah, it can make a difference. But do I think there are swing voters? And that's the thing. In a 50-50 country, do I think there are swing voters who are waiting for the Taylor Swift endorsement? No, I don't. And that's what I'm quickly coming to the realization on. I don't think there's anybody on the fence. I think that people who are going to vote for Kamala Harris, who are diehard Democrats, are going to be like, yeah, this is awesome. And they're going to act like it matters. But like the small percentage of people who are still on the fence, you really think they were out there like, I can't make up my mind. I've just been waiting and waiting and waiting for someone to speak to me. And, oh, here it is. Here it is, Taylor. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, finally, I've seen the light. Lance in the Northland, go ahead. You're on KCMO.
Hey, Pete. How are you doing this morning?
What's happening, man? Go ahead. Great call. Thank you very much, Lance. Wes in Gladstone, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, Pete. So let's stop crying about the moderators, okay? Because the first question to her was, are people off better now than they were 4 years ago? And she launched into one of her standard 2-minute word salads, and I looked at my wife and I said, this thing's over. And what did Trump do? started talking about migration. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me, man. There was your perfect time to answer the question that she wouldn't answer. And I mean, deliver a knockout blow right then. Mm-hmm. And then about halfway through the debate, you could tell she had gotten under his skin.
Yeah.
And from there on out, he didn't have any good answers, man. And then his final wrap-up statement, he didn't say, you're not better off than you were four years ago. He just blew it. I'm sorry, but that's what he just blew
Please
it.
don't apologize. I thought he left a lot on the table. Thank you, Wes. And by the way, for people that don't know, you are a fairly regular caller here, and you are a diehard Trump guy, right?
Right. Yeah. Oh, right. I mean.
So that's my point. The point is, that's my point, though. You're saying that as a diehard guy who's always been alongside Donald Trump, and even you're saying, had a bad night. Doesn't mean he's going to lose the election, but he had a bad night. Left a lot on the table, no doubt about it. All right, 913-4087-95.7. Real quick on this Taylor Swift thing. Pete, I bet that she gets booed next time they show her on the screen at Arrowhead. Well, here's the thing. They never show her on the screen at Arrowhead. I've been to a handful of games this year. I was at the game last week. I've been to a few last year. They never show her. You would never know she's at the game if you're inside the stadium, unless you literally are sitting where she's sitting and see her.
Need the binoculars.
Yeah, they do not show her on the big screen. I think that's a respectful thing for the Hunt family to do, to not show her and just treat her like another fan. Now, on TV, you can't avoid her. But one of the reasons I've been going more to the games because I don't have to deal with the TV side. I don't have to see her. By the way, Megyn Kelly had some thoughts on Taylor Swift's endorsement. That weaves right into this. Here was Megyn Kelly. Did you edit this, Mark? You edit this baby down?
Yes.
Okay.
I did.
All right. Yeah, that wasn't a very convincing or confident yes.
I had to think about which one. Yeah, I did.
Okay. All right. Listen, people were fired up last night. So Megyn Kelly, who is going to be here in Kansas City, reacting to Taylor Swift's Instagram post endorsing Kamala Harris. And I just can't get over, Taylor put this up as if like, I was waiting to watch the debate last night, and after watching the debates, I have decided that I'm going to vote for the most liberal person to ever be at the top of the ticket in modern American history. I just, it really took the debate for me to see the way of the future for America.
And I didn't care about her thoughts until she gets this. I've researched this.
Yeah.
One. No, stop.
Just stop.
Right?
Was that in between U.S. Open matches you were at over the weekend? Please.
Yeah, what's the research? The differences are night and day.
Yeah. I was on the fence on the issues, and I've come to the conclusion that Kamala Harris is the best way forward. Please stop. But I was wrong, and some of you want to rub it in, and that's fine. I mean, I could take it. It's all good. Trust me, it won't be the last time I'm wrong on this show. Okay? Some guys like to sit in these seats and be like, I am never wrong. Everything I say is right. No, I was wrong. Trust me, I will be wrong again. I promise you I'll be wrong again. Here was Megyn Kelly, though, last night. She'll be in Kansas City tomorrow.
Taylor Swift just endorsed Kamala Harris. Taylor Swift, yeah. She posted a picture of herself with her cat. Would you look at this? You can, of course. You can kiss your sales to the Republican audience goodbye, Taylor. Hope you enjoyed them while you had them. I was so heartened and impressed by her selection of her running mate, Tim Walz, who has been standing up for LGBTQ rights, IVF, and a woman's right to her own body for decades. Oh, my God. So this woman is fine with his plan to take custody of the children from parents who don't want them to chop off their body parts and put them in Minnesota court's custody so the body parts can be chopped off and they can be sterilized outside the custody of their parents. That's what led Taylor Swift to endorse him. Some lunatic dropped a note in my personal mailbox outside my house begging me not to boycott Taylor Swift, as though I have that power. I'm allowed to criticize Taylor Swift, and I don't give a shit who gets upset. This is disgusting. If she wants to vote Harris Walz, she can do it all she wants. But to say the reason she's doing it is because of Tim Walz's stance on LGBTQ, F you, Taylor Swift. And F all of the people who want to see these children have body parts chopped off and watch them sterilized under the age of consent, and then will ride off to their multi-gazillion-dollar mansions, never to think of them again.
Megyn Kelly last night. Whoa! Woo! All right. If you're not trying to get those Tucker tickets tomorrow just for Megyn, you're missing out. She's fired up. She's bringing that heat to T-Mobile tomorrow night. Let's go. But she's absolutely right. And that issue, by the way, has been a very big issue for her, as it has been for many of us. But she's really been a leader on that issue in pointing out the absurdity of the moment that we're living in. That people like Tim Walz advocate for minors. Minors. Not like, hey, it's America. I'm 20-something years old. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And, you can't stop me. That's fine. I don't want the government to get in your way as much as I disagree with it. But we're talking about minors here. Children. And that's the point I was making earlier. For that to be the issue that apparently brings Taylor Swift to vote for Kamala Harris. By the way, she makes it seem like people actually vote for presidents based on their VP pick. It's one thing to just say, yeah, I'm going to vote for Kamala. Fine, you're a Democrat. Cool, whatever. Like, that's your prerogative. But to say you're doing it because of Tim Walz? I don't even think Tim Walz's wife is voting for Kamala Harris because Tim Walz got the VP nod. Jeez, I mean, the guy is just the definition of an empty suit. There is nothing to that dude. And for that to be the explanation, I just wish Taylor Swift would have been honest and at least said, I hate Donald Trump. I hate him. I would have respected that more than, I've studied the issues. Tim Walz is great on the LGBTQIA plus division sign exclamation point, and that's my decision after watching the debate tonight. Come on, please. Spare me that.